Star Shaman is the first outing from indie developers Ikimasho and promises an experience unlike any other in the Quest library. Using a unique, gesture-based spellcasting system, you'll fight your way through spectacular-looking galaxies to the beat of an exhilarating soundtrack. For you, dear player, are a mighty Star Shaman, a champion of biodiversity and the galaxy's last resort. If you've seen the trailers for Star Shaman, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is yet another twist on the popular rhythm genre, this time incorporating gesture-based spellcasting. Now, two of my all-time favorite games are Pistol Whip and The Unspoken, so when I saw the mixed reality footage showing the player ducking, dancing, and blasting enemies in time with the beat, I thought that all my dreams had come true. Sadly, that was not the case. Star Shaman sees you taking on the role of a mystical crusader battling to defeat the architects of entropy and thwart their attempts to homogenize life into static geometric shapes. There's more to this story. Lots more, for those of you who have the patience to read on. But it's relatively limp and not in any way necessary to enjoy the game. I'm sure that somebody worked very hard on writing the endless splash screens of dialogue, but even from the perspective of reviewing the game, I found the story almost impossible to wade through. At the end of the day, all you need to know is this. The bad guys are all about geometry, and you're a wizard with a grudge against shapes. Now get out there and fight! At its core, Star Shaman is essentially a roguelike wave shooter whose closest living relative is probably the uber-successful space pirate trainer. Waves of bad guys present themselves directly in front of you. They attack from a similarly elevated position and rain a barrage of attacks that you will either need to dodge or deflect with your magical shield. It's a well-worn trope, and one that could easily have run foul against the harsh geometry of mediocrity. Thankfully, this iteration comes with a twist, and for me at least, that twist is really cool. Instead of something as pedestrian as a blaster, Star Shamans wield the Shaman sphere, a magical blue ball that permanently hovers just in front of you. Within this sphere are crystals which allow you to summon your magical arsenal. Each weapon is brought forth by grabbing a crystal and tracing a gesture pattern that springs to life around the sphere. This proves to be an incredibly satisfying way of both drawing and reloading your weapon. Frankly, it's the main reason that you'll want to continue playing the game. In true roguelike fashion, you will permanently unlock increasingly powerful spells as you progress through each run. These can be accessed once per system, essentially a cluster of levels, as you enter the reliquary and choose from a randomly generated selection of spells. Your sphere can eventually hold a maximum of 4 offensive and 3 defensive spells, with each category being assigned to a particular hand. Once perfected, the gestures that switch between these spells feel almost like a choreographed dance, and are incredibly fun to perform. Honestly, if you could just focus on this core gameplay loop and play the game uninterrupted, then the rest of this review would probably read very differently. Sadly, this is where things take a turn for the worse, and Star Shaman goes from being engaging and satisfying to just plain annoying. For reasons that I find absolutely baffling, Ikimasho has decided that at the beginning of every single run, you need to play 6 brief levels followed by one horrifically dull boss. Each of these levels takes about 30 to 50 seconds to complete, after which you bounce back through level select and loading screens for the next 20 seconds. All up, finishing the first system takes about 6 minutes, and of that time, you spend at least 2 full minutes in between rounds waiting to get back into the game. It is insane. Add to this a difficulty curve that just doesn't make sense, and you have a recipe for disaster. Star Shaman offers a visually pleasing aesthetic that is easy to lose oneself in. The character design on the support characters is artfully delivered in a vivid comic book style that is genuinely appealing, and the background worlds are fun and funky. It may not be groundbreaking, but everything fits together seamlessly, and I really enjoyed being immersed in the worlds that Star Shaman offers. Disappointingly though, the character design on the enemies is a massive letdown. Perhaps it's because everything else has been so well thought out and executed that this one element seems so stark in contrast. As such, it becomes a significant distraction. I mean, I understand that the architects are all about geometry. Still, there surely could have been a better approach than making them faceless, floating masses of simple shapes. Ignoring, for a moment, how little satisfaction is gained from blowing away a pesky orange hexagon, this approach makes recognizing enemy types very difficult. Each enemy type has a distinct attack pattern and damage counter, but it's difficult to remember which is which when the enemies are also abstract. Is it the blue diamond with the red border, or the red square with the blue border that needs to be shot 3 times? Oh, never mind. I got hit while I was trying to remember, and now I have to start again. Crap. Back at the beginning, I mentioned that I initially thought Star Shaman was a rhythm game, and while that's not technically true, it does come close. Unlike real rhythm games, you're not required to interact with anything on the beat. However, this doesn't mean that you can't, and playing to the music becomes a significant part of the fun. In terms of audio interactions, there is a notable similarity between this and the truly excellent Racket NX, insofar as you don't have to play to the rhythm, but it is so much more fun if you do. The tracks will help you get your magical space groove on. While they're probably not going straight into your Spotify playlist, they're an excellent accompaniment to the gameplay. The soundtrack consists of various upbeat, funky house tracks that will have you grooving out of harm's way and bopping as you blast your way through the game. Add to this the dance-like motions required as you summon your weapons, and Star Shaman manages to incorporate the best elements of the rhythm genre. It does this without cluttering up the cognitive process with an insistence that the beat must be king. The ability to ignore the music and concentrate when you need to, coupled with the freedom to just jam out when you're really feeling it, is one of the most well-conceptualized aspects of this not-quite rhythm gem. Star Shaman comes so very close to excellence that it's heartbreaking. For the first release from an indie studio, it shows a tremendous amount of promise, and I genuinely think that the team at Ikimasho should be proud. The addition of an endless mode that allows you to just get lost in the core loop, or an arcade mode that combines each system into a single playable level, would make this game an absolute winner. Almost. 6. If you enjoy 6DOF reviews and want to stay up to date with all our latest videos, click the subscribe button. And also, don't forget to like this video. Just push the little thumbs up button. You can do it now. I'll wait.